up, everybody? Today I want to talk about choosing yourself when it comes to being in a relationship. I know things get misunderstood because you want to compromise, you want to meet your man or your woman halfway because you're in a relationship. But here's the thing, before you get in that relationship, you have to think about those things that you like about yourself, those things that you dislike about yourself. Like, that's the freedom of dating and being in a relationship. If you can't express what you like and what you don't like, then you're getting yourself in a whole nother situation, and feelings can be hurt and misunderstandings can happen, and you're making compromises and promises and heartbreaks for no reason. So it's very important to put yourself first. Your likes, your dislikes, your what's, your whatnots, your issues, all of that stuff. Let's put it all out on the table so we can decide, do we want to do this or not? What are we going to do? Because at the end of the day, if you don't want to do it, it's not going to work. I would like to talk to the ladies on this one, because what I feel like we hold on to men too long. We take in their responsibilities on things that they need to work on, whether it's seeking help for whatever issues they have going on, all the way down to them not knowing how to do certain stuff about being romantic or whatever the case may be. I feel like all those things are important if that's something that you like to do. But instead, what we tend to do is take on those roles, and then we got an issue because later on down the line, we're tired and we don't want to do it anymore. He's not doing it, but you knew in the beginning he wasn't going to do it. I'm not saying that that's an issue. I'm just saying that we have to be aware of those things, because when we take on all those responsibilities, all those roles, we end up thinking later on, like, what is he really here for? What do I need him for? What is he here for? And some stuff that's not okay for you is fine. Like, you can't go to the next person thinking like, well, I'm gonna make that's really not a big deal. I'm not gonna trip off of this with him. If you're discussing it with your girls or with your mama or whoever it is you're discussing it with, it mattered to you. I don't care if it's that you sitting outside and he didn't come and open the door for you. If that's an issue for you, that is an issue. You need to discuss it. Let's get it out if it's going to be a problem for your relationship later on. Don't hold on to it. Same thing when you get in a deep relationship. Things are going to change. As you get older, the stuff that you believed in before is not going to be the stuff that you believe in now. It just happens that way. My 20-year-old self does not feel the same way at 36. I just don't. That's just me. So in your relationship, your partner is going to deal with that as well. If you are in a tough relationship and stuff is going back and forth, you got arguments, disagreements, whatever you want to call it, ask yourself, what are you holding on for? If you're holding on because of you, these are some things that I want with my relationship and I'm good, then keep moving. But if it's not something that you want to hold on to, what you doing? Why you still there? You got to ask yourself that. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my story. Okay. So I held on to my marriage. I know it's something that's like, well, you were married. So, but that's not an excuse for me either. Now, I don't think divorce is an option, but sometimes it ends up being that maybe we wasn't supposed to be together. It could be that. I'm not upset about that. But I do know I held on to a lot of things because we were married and not because that was something that I wanted to do. Now, my ex-husband gave me the divorce papers. I decided to walk away because I needed happiness for myself. I needed freedom for myself. But I was holding on to something because I made excuses. Well, maybe he doesn't think this. Maybe he doesn't know this. Maybe he doesn't know that. And I love him so much that I am willing to do this part of it. At that point, we're losing 100-100. We got 70-30 or 60-40 because he's not doing his part and I'm taking it. That's not his fault. He didn't ask me to take on anything, and vice versa if it's the other way around. So you got to understand why you are staying in a relationship that is not giving you happiness for yourself. A lot of you guys are looking into the world and looking at what society says and what the community says and what your mama say and what your daddy say. But at the end of the day, you're not happy. And you're trying to make something work for relationships that's not even yours. Only you know what you're truly going through in your relationship. So only you can ask yourself what it is that you really want. If you're not getting what you want, it's okay to move on. I don't care how early it is in a relationship. I don't care how late it is in a relationship. That's the thing. We end up having kids and we completing the cycle because they seeing some stuff. They're seeing brokenness and all this stuff. Y'all, kids are the future. Don't bring your kids in that kind of mess. And don't continue on to doing something that you know you don't want to do. We get tied up. Y'all, we can just keep getting tied up in listening to your homegirl saying, why you leaving him for that? Because I want to. Because it does not work for me. I appreciate your advice, but that doesn't work for me. That's not okay for me. And a lot of your freedom with dating and relationships is being free to express yourself. And then if you find the right man that's going to connect with you, if you find that man that's going to connect with you with what the things that he likes or dislike, and you're telling him the things that you like or dislike, you can get a true match because you're upfront with that. Now, on the flip side, if you find somebody that you really don't want to be involved with because there's some things that have happened later on in a relationship and you keep staying there, then not only do you gain a broken heart, you gain some stuff mentally that you really don't want to deal with. You gain a lot of extra baggage. And that's not what you want for yourself. A relationship, yes, it takes tons of work. It takes a lot of work. But when you get to a point when you losing yourself or you're changing up things that you like, changing up your ways for that other person, that ain't living. That's not love. What you love about yourself is what connects with another man or woman, and you find a whole nother type of love. When I love me and he loves him, I can love him, he can love me, and it's just a whole bunch of unconditional stuff going everywhere. That's what type of love you looking for. That's what type of love you want. Yeah, you compromise, but you don't compromise yourself in the things that might be a deal breaker to you. You don't compromise anything that's gonna make you feel less than in your relationship. Compromise stuff like ketchup, whether it's supposed to go in the refrigerator or the pantry. That's what type of compromises you want to do. True enough, in relationship, you're going to argue about all kind of BS. But you don't compromise your happiness to be happy somewhere else, because then it don't mix. It don't mix. So you guys, just make sure you're putting yourself first. And even deciding that I want to be in a relationship because I love all of me. So when I get ready to present myself to this man, or when this man comes to me and presents himself, I can say all the things that I love, all the things that I don't love, all the things that I'm going to tolerate, all the things that I'm not going to tolerate, in order to get a true relationship, a true friendship, and continue to love yourself. Self-love is the best love. And when you can have self-love and experience someone else's self-love, you definitely have a whole nother type of love. Y'all make sure you unpack all your baggage. Get all your shit together. Okay? You deserve it. I don't care if you've done bad stuff in the past. You definitely deserve it. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to subscribe. Let me know what else you want to talk about, because y'all already know it's about unpacking. Unpacking your baggage really helps you live another life. It really helps you get where you're supposed to be. So unpack that baggage and pack in some self-love and really get into that relationship that you love and desire, those fairy tales. You deserve it, boo-boo. We just unpacking so we can live. You feel me?